On April 16 of 2023, at around 12 a.m., a man named Jacob wakes up to a strange noise outside his room. Trembling with fear, he gets out of bed and encounters something that leaves him extremely unnerved. Now, not too long ago, I featured a video from Jacob, who you may remember as the man who inherited an old house and a creepy clown doll that both belonged to his grandmother. The clown doll, known as Jeffrey, scares him. Because of this, he keeps Jeffrey locked up in a separate room away from him. But then one night, something happens that spooks Jacob out of his mind. It's close to midnight when a loud bang wakes him up. He hears a couple more noises before suddenly realizing that the sounds are coming from the room next to his where the clown doll was put. What happens next scares the living daylights out of him. Take a look.
I just heard banging.
As Jacob checks the room where the sounds were coming from, a loud noise is heard from downstairs. He looks nervously down the staircase when suddenly the sound of footsteps going up the stairs is heard. Yet, as he looks closely, no one appears to be there. He then quickly turns around to see the door opening slowly, showing Jeffrey, whose head is now in a different position. Initially seen facing the wall, the clown is now staring at the door. Jacob quickly ends the video here and locks himself in his room until the following morning. After this night, he was absolutely certain that Jeffrey was haunted. Afraid it might happen again or something worse may occur, he decides to move Jeffrey into the basement.
Another update. I think I'm definitely going to be moving Jeffrey. Like, with whatever happened last night, I don't want him near me. I'm going to be putting him in the basement. So, I'm gonna follow up. This is the results so far. I'm gonna leave him here for now. But I think I'm gonna put a camera here. Jeffrey's still here, so we're gonna see if there's anything I miss.
Now, unlike before, Jacob will keep an eye on Jeffrey by placing a security camera in front of him. If anything happens, he'll be notified immediately via a notification sent by the camera. Fast forward to a few nights later, and he's notified of movement inside the basement. He checks the camera's live feed and sees that the camera is moving side to side. Now, this didn't alarm him, as he forgot that the heater on which the camera was placed on top has a timer that turns it on and makes it oscillate. The heater had simply turned on during this time. But as he continues to watch, something happens that terrifies him to his core. Watch. As the camera oscillates from side to side, the clown's arm eerily moves on its own. Seconds later, the light bulb blows out in a loud explosion, making the basement completely dark. Following that, a strange voice is heard whispering something that's hard to make out. Not much else happens after this, but everything that happened before was enough for Jacob to decide that Jeffrey should remain locked up in the basement. Jeffrey continues to be recorded in case he moves again. For now, no further updates have been posted by Jacob, but until then, this video remains a mystery. This next video comes from a man whose entire home is filled with Bibles and other religious artifacts that he worships on the daily. If he's not praying, then he's most likely sitting at his piano playing a song with verses from the Bible. Pretty much everything he has or does in this apartment is based on something religious. Now you might be thinking that this man is simply devoted to his religion. While that's partly true, the main reason as to why he prays a lot has to do with something completely different. As it turns out, this man has been experiencing strange happenings in his home. Ever since visiting his father's gravesite at the cemetery, he can't shake the feeling that something has followed him home. Whatever it might be, he's deeply afraid of it. For this reason, he's been praying and singing religious songs more so than usual as an attempt to get rid of the evil entity that now lives in his home. One day, while taking a nap, he wakes up to a loud noise in the living room. He grabs his phone and records this.
Bueno, estoy grabando este video porque estoy tratando de dormir, pero acabo de escuchar un golpe duro por allá en la sala, entonces decidí grabar porque hace días que se viene presentando cosas extrañas en el apartamento. Son las 4:13 minutos de la tarde, entonces me parece muy extraño que hasta ahora están sucediendo como cosas raras. Entonces, comedor. Miren, es en el comedor. Tengo las ventanas cerradas, miren. Esto viene sucediendo hace como una semana ya. Pues la verdad se me hace muy extraño. Se me hace muy extraño que estén pasando cosas así.
Feeling slightly unnerved, the man sees a set of eating utensils swaying side to side as though a strong breeze had passed by. But as the man points out, all windows are closed shut. Naturally, he was stricken with fear, but not as much as the next incident, as what happens then leaves him terribly shaken up. A few days after this occurrence, the man uploads a video in which he appears to be deeply distressed. Watch.
En el nombre de Jesús te ordeno que te vayas. En el nombre de Jesús ordeno que te vayas. No tienes derecho de estar aquí. Ordeno que te vas. Ordeno que te vas en el nombre de Jesús.
Appearing to be fed up with the supposed spirit, the man tells the spirit to leave at once. But after having done so, a piano key is seemingly pressed by an unseen force. The man quickly rushes out of the room in a panic frenzy. It was now clear to him that something was provoking him. But as if that wasn't obvious enough, 4 days later, this happens. It's 3 in the morning when the man and his girlfriend who was staying the night wake up to strange noises. What happens next leaves them highly unsettled. Take a look.
Bueno, voy a grabar este video porque nuevamente se están escuchando en el apartamento ruidos. Son las 3 de la mañana con 16 minutos y...
Escucha.
Sí, amor, sí se escucha. Es en la sala.
Sí. Escucha.
Esta vez no estoy solo, esta vez estoy con mi novia que por fin decidió venir a acompañarme, pues estaba asustada debido a todas estas cosas que están pasando. ¿Dónde es eso, amor?
La cocina.
¿Qué fue eso?
¿Qué te ayudó?
Yo voy a mirar. Quédese aquí, amor, quédese aquí.
No.
Señor bendito. Amor, quédese acá, yo voy solo, amor.
Yo voy.
Prenda la luz, prenda la luz. Se ve todo tranquilo por acá. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. Parece que es en la cocina. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. Vaya para el cuarto, amor.
No.
¿Qué fue eso? ¿Estás viendo, amor? ¿Estás viendo? Es en la cocina, amor. Cuidado con la cocina. Manifiéstate en el nombre de Jesús. Te ordeno que te manifiestes. ¿Qué fue lo que sonó así ahorita, amor?
La cocina.
Mierda. Mira, amor, mira. Las quieren mentiras, amor. Es un vaso. Es un vaso. Mira, todos los cajones están abiertos. ¿Qué es lo que pasa aquí, Dios mío? Amor.
Strangely, the wind chimes move on their own, and the kitchen appears to be ransacked. Yet according to the man, no signs of forced entry were seen anywhere in the house. Further adding to the strangeness, the man says that his girlfriend felt very ill only minutes after this incident. Whether or not this had something to do with her sudden illness is unknown. But considering what happened only days later, the man can't help but think that the spirit was responsible for this. It's late at night, and the man is once again woken up by mysterious noises when this is captured. Without warning, the sound of footsteps charging at full throttle can be heard heading towards the man before being attacked by an unseen presence. Scared stiff, the man stands in silence while trying to process what just happened. He then picks up his phone and ends the video here. Although undoubtedly strange, viewers find it stranger that the man doesn't turn on the lights in most of these incidents. But the reason for this, according to him, is that the lights for most of the rooms are located at the main entrance, which he stays away from as he's too scared to approach. Whether ghost or not, the man continues to pray and read passages from the Bible in the hopes that doing so would get rid of the strange presence that haunts him. In early January of 2023, a woman named Nancy Malkin had a very strange encounter with something in her child's bedroom. Nancy says that the reason she had went up to her son's bedroom in the first place was because she saw something quite unusual on the security camera that's placed in his room. She had woken up from a nap before looking over at the camera's live feed and seeing a strange orb flying around her son's toys. It would seem to zip around in a strange way and react to objects it touched as though it had a mind of its own. Now, Nancy had been looking at this orb for quite some time. More than 5 minutes have passed since initially spotting the mysterious orb, and still, it continued to float around in the same spot. Now, curious as to what exactly was being caught on camera, she walks over to her son's room, but strangely finds nothing there. Nothing visible could be seen with her naked eye, but on camera, she could still see the ball of light floating around the same spot. In this short clip, Nancy's observing the orb via the security camera's live feed on her phone. Mind you, that without the phone, she can't see anything in person. While looking at the live feed, she sees the ball of light moving frenetically. Watch. Now at one point, Nancy starts to communicate with the orb. She tells it to touch her hand when something pretty interesting happens. The orb quickly moves away from her hand as though she had scared it. Nancy decides to leave this mysterious orb alone and call it a day. The orb continues to fly around the same spot even after she goes. But only minutes later, after rechecking the camera, the orb is no longer there. It has simply vanished. Ever since recording this, the orb hasn't shown itself again. Nancy believes that this mysterious orb might have been the spirit of a child as it kept floating around her son's toys. Perhaps it just wanted to play with them, as Nancy states. But whatever it might have been, she claims that this mysterious orb was intelligent as it responded to everything she did. To this day, she still questions what this ball of light was doing inside her son's bedroom. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, Let's get back to the video. There's an apartment in Poland where something very strange has been going on. The man who lives there claims that whenever he's by himself, he can't help but feel as though someone else is inside. When his roommates are gone and he has the place to himself, weird noises happen out of nowhere. Now, what makes these occurrences extra strange is that they always seem to happen during the nighttime. Knowing when they usually occur, the man has his phone ready in hand and proceeds to record the following video. No one else is home when this is captured.
Hej, ogólnie to od jakiegoś czasu cały czas coś, właśnie takie dziwne hałasy. Ja pierdolę, co to? Jak? Co to?
Mysteriously, the bathroom faucet is left running as though someone or something had turned it on. The man shuts it off while seeming confused as to how it turned on by itself. He heads back to his room when eerily the light switch, which he just turned on, is immediately turned off. It seems that whoever or whatever was on the other end of the hall had switched off the light. Now, this wouldn't be the end of it, as only a few nights later, something just as creepy happens. It's nighttime when the man recording hears banging noises outside his door. With his heart pounding in his ears, he records this.
Nie, ja pierdolę. Co jest, kurwa? Whoa!
Like something straight out of a horror movie, the man peeks out from his bedroom, peering into the darkness of the hallway to see if anyone's there. Finding nobody inside the bathroom, the man quickly walks back to his room, but stops in his tracks upon noticing the sudden mess in the kitchen. Appearing as though a massive earthquake had struck the place, the man runs back into his room in full terror before ending the video. What happened that night has left him shaken up. It's unknown if the man continues to live inside the apartment, as no updates or new videos have been posted. But as with most videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Is something living inside this man's apartment? Or might there be an explanation for all that's happened? In this next video, two friends are hosting a live stream when something pretty spooky is captured live. Now, the two boys in this video often do live streams while playing video games late at night. It just so happens that this particular incident took place during an all-nighter, where around 5 in the morning, a strange noise is heard in the kitchen. The two usually play in the living room, so the noise was close by when it happened. The boys thought it was a family member who was grabbing a morning snack, so they shrugged it off and didn't think much of it. But later on, something happens that grabs their full attention and prompts them to end the live stream immediately. While playing in the dark, this happens.
Oh, hijo, dale. Cierra la bola, no va la bola. Dale. ¿Qué es? Fíjate, es un niñito por ahí. ¿Qué va? Anda a cerrar. Mirá, exacto, era. Iba a cerrar, imbécil. Las 5 yo soy. Las 5 yo soy.
At first, the fridge door seemingly opens on its own, as though someone had gone over to grab a snack. At least that's what the two boys thought, considering that one of them has a brother who wakes up around this time to cook something up. Thinking that he left the fridge door open by accident, one of them gets up to close it. But as they walk back, this happens. A chair swiftly moves on its own by more than a few inches, causing both friends to freeze in their tracks. It was at this point that they both knew that something unexplainable had occurred. Something supernatural. Viewers believe so too, but as always, I'll let you be the judge on that. Had something paranormal occurred? Or had something else happened here?